books. That's what I do. Some are good, some are not as good. Got a shelf? Let's make it two. I cannot wait for this review. Thanos Titan Consumed is a book I bought at Barnes & Noble. But besides that, it's a novel set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It focuses on the main antagonist of Marvel's Avengers Infinity War, Thanos. Now I'm going to be honest, I've only watched Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy 2, so my knowledge of the MCU isn't very vast. But I do know one thing. I don't care about this guy, I don't care about this guy. This guy, no one knows him. She's not gonna do. I don't care about her either.
Oh, that's my boy Spider-Man!
Wait, you're telling me Nick Fury and Spider-Man are both victims of Thanos, but yet there's a new film coming out this year that features the two of them? Why bother? I just looked up the list for MCU films in order, and according to this list on Wikipedia, there are 2 films set to release between now and Spider-Man Far From Home. That means within the next 2 films, not only will Nick Fury and Spider-Man return, but so will everybody who was snapped away by Big Daddy T. Superhero movies have no consequences whatsoever, and if they do, they're just resolved in the following feature. Why do we need 3 Spider-Man movies in 3 years? Not to mention the Venom movie starring Tom Hardy, which flew over my radar until I spotted a Blu-ray copy at a friend's house. So about Thanos Titan Consumed. It's a prequel to the events of the MCU. In the beginning of the book, it states the following. There are as many tales of the origins of the man-titan Thanos as there are stars remaining in the sky. This is but one of them. It is also the truth. The story begins on Thanos' home planet, Titan, in which he soon realizes is in great danger. It's really bad. Titan is a planet similar to yours or mine, but the problem that it has is that it's overpopulated, and the population keeps growing and growing really fast. Thanos, using intricate algorithms, finds out that his planet will become consumed within just a few generations. So being the thoughtful individual, he decides to warn his people. But unfortunately, he was born with deficiency. Thanos has purple skin, and the color purple is not a welcoming thing on Titan. On Titan, the color purple is the color that represents death. When Thanos tries to warn the citizens, he does it through a gigantic hologram, and in result, due to his monstrous appearance, people more fear him than listen to him. It also doesn't help him that his solution was to purge half the population. This causes panic throughout Titan, and ultimately, Thanos is exiled to outer space. So what did I think of the book? It's pretty average. The story is pretty basic, and if you know what Thanos does and what his motivations are, then it's practically a fill in the blank. There's one part where Thanos and his pals get into a 3-on-1 fight with a pretty skilled fighter, and Thanos gets hurt pretty bad. But while reading it, you stop worrying because you realize it's a prequel, so you know he's not going to get killed. You know he's going to be okay. Eventually, Thanos returns to Titan and finds that his algorithms were right. Only Titan was left in ruins sooner than they predicted. With that not-so-accurate calculation in mind, he runs another test and finds that within the next 100 billion years, the universe would run out of the resources to support life. And he doesn't even stop to think, wow, a lot could happen in 100 billion years. With a snap, he just turns into the guy you see in the Avengers movie. So if you're a big fan of the MCU or Marvel in general, and you're planning on reading this book, I guess it's okay, especially if you're like looking to get information. The author uses a huge array of vocabulary, so you're sure to pick up a word or two. Not only that, but there's also the inclusion of some pretty mature subjects, such as the mention of interspecies pornography. Other than that, there's some pretty interesting choice of words in a few places in the book. So that concludes the analysis and review of Thanos Titan Consumed. Thanos Titan Consumed is a pretty plain book, and you pretty much already know what's going to happen at the end. I kind of bought and read this just so I could say and joke that I bought and read this. Other than that, I don't figure that I'll ever reread it. With that being said, Thanos Titan Consumed is being placed on the bad shelf. Wow. So if you haven't noticed, I got a new shelf. So since the new year started, I read 2 books other than Thanos Titan Consumed. The first one being Life After Dane by Edward Lorne. It's pretty good. The ending is great. I loved it. Check out E on his YouTube channel. I found him because of Stephen King countdowns. And then just today, what's today, the 8th? I finished The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. It took me 2 weeks to finish it. I'm pretty upset about it because I was sick and didn't get to do anything for 2 days because I was just in bed. That's where I've been too. I haven't been able to post in like a week and a half or whatever because I was worried that my voice would be acting up because I always wake up with a sore throat for some reason. With that being said, they both get placed on the good shelf because I think they were pretty good. Another thing about The Hobbit, I got in a box set on Amazon Prime Day for pretty cheap. So I just had it I had all 4 books for a while and I just got into like the first one now. So I don't know when I'm going to get around to the other 3. It's going to be a while. I actually bought them while I was reading it. So I thought after reading it I would go into The Hobbit. I really wanted to get into The Lord of the Rings at the time because I saw them on Amazon Prime. I was like, ooh, that's a good book, I guess. But here, I'll show off the shelves. Here's some of my shirts. Susan, how you doing? There's the good shelf with all the goodies, I guess. Puccini's glasses, R.I.P. And the bad shelf with an Elite Trainer box. Kind of want to unbox another one or do another one. That was kind of fun, I guess. I wouldn't mind doing another. Boomer 1, I had on the good shelf in my 2019 update. Then, since I got this new shelf, I had room for it on the bad shelf, and then I reconsidered it. Because, like, I don't know, in the book, it really doesn't, like, it just doesn't portray YouTube realistically, I feel. Especially being a YouTuber, you know. Other than that, the ending was pretty neat. I got, all the, JoJo's, the Western releases for JoJo. I think everything after part 1 is, first printing. Not that that matters, because, well, it might matter someday, but that's, whatever. It is what it is. I haven't read the last 3 yet, so, whatever. That's it, boys. Thanks for watching. I gotta go fight Thanos now.